think it's kind of exciting that you have a brand new asset class.
Well, Cheryl, this is hard, and it should be hard because this is the first time ever we've tried to deal with such a historic piece of legislation. It will keep America as the most dominant player in the world economically. There's good news, though, Cheryl. The first thing I'd say is that we now have Republicans and Democrats working together on language that they can agree on. The White House agrees on it as well. We have one more step to go. We need the industry to agree on it. So I spoke last night with Coinbase as well. Everyone is still at the table. There is work to be done, but I am really excited about the fact that we finally have Republicans and Democrats agreeing on something really important on the yield conversation. We now have to get industry to buy into this language. This is a threat process. It's always difficult the first time you do it, but it gets better and better and better. And so I'm still very optimistic about where we are.
All right, there it is from Senator Tim Scott talking to us real about the Clarity Act. I think it's pretty encouraging that he says he's excited. There's definitely been a lot of drama going on with it. It was my belief back in October. I said I see this thing going in the spring or the summer of 26. Probably when we're coming out of this bear market. Looks like we might be getting to that point pretty soon. Right now the market is a sea of red. Not terrible red, but just ranging. Bitcoin's been pretty much between, 67,000 and 74 for like a month or so. We're just really going sideways. ETH has been hanging out around 2,000. We went down about 1,800 up to, I think, well, let's look at it. Oh, 0. To about, let's see. We went up about as high as, oh wait, what is that? No. Let's look at it this year. We were up around, almost to 2,400 in the last month or so. But really, a lot of the charts look about the same. XRP, $1.36. The digital asset guy is thinking about maybe making some of his last entries in, although I kind of want to watch what goes on with this Clarity Act. Wouldn't surprise me if we had another test of the very bottom. Cardano, 4 for $1. I like that. Stellar, see, this is expensive Stellar Lumens for me because I bought most of mine under 10 cents. I remember buying it at 2 cents. Should have done whatever I needed to do to buy more back then. Of course, everything that I say or show or talk about on these videos is not financial or investment advice, just my own personal thoughts, opinions, philosophies, beliefs, whatever else, just for entertainment purposes only. Litecoin about 50 cents. Hedera hash graph, H-bar under 10 cents, looking pretty good. Let's see how VeChain's doing down here. There it is. Ooh, nice. 0.6 of a penny. It's pretty good. I tell this story all the time, but back in the C-19 pandemic, I watched it go down to like 0.2 of a penny. I was about to buy, and somebody said, "Hey, dude, I don't think VeChain's even a thing anymore." And that was actually the time to buy because then it ripped up to 30 cents. Let's take a look at it. That was up here. It actually did go up to 30 cents, but they've got it. I was in it way back before this. It won't even go back farther than 5 years on iTrust, but I still like iTrust. This is the digital asset guy's favorite place to buy, sell, and yes, hold cryptocurrencies and precious metals, whether that's inside an IRA or in an all-new premium custody account. And then they have the new treasury account if you have an LLC or a business. It's a win all the way around. My personal favorite way to buy and sell and hold crypto, though, is in a Roth IRA because you've already paid taxes and it will be tax-free. and you can take out contributions and things based off of certain rules. But I'm not an investment advisor or retirement planner. Please consult with yours. All right, XRP Dad is a new friend of mine. He shared this video. Federal Reserve says it has no plans to create a central bank digital currency. I believe it for now.
Yeah. But for a lot of people, the number one thing they think about is central bank digital currency. And President Trump issued an executive order saying that there shall be no central bank digital currency, no work on a central bank digital currency. But prior to President Trump taking office this term, there was a lot of work at the Federal Reserve on developing a central bank digital currency. Has that work ceased, or is it ongoing?
Yes, I think Chair Powell has spoken to that, and he said that it is not ongoing, and that the chair does not believe that we have the legal authority to issue central bank digital currency without some action by Congress.
Well, unfortunately, he always has this qualifier, a retail central bank digital currency. And for a lot of people, what they see being built is like Hydra. There'll be many heads, sometimes in the form of stable coins, sometimes in the form of other payment instruments, but they'll all come together on the back end with the body of the beast, and it'll be, quote, a wholesale CBDC. So is the work on the wholesale CBDC ongoing, or did that too cease?
To my knowledge, it is not ongoing.
Well, there you have it. I believe that for now, but I think in the future we will have a CBDC. I believe that because really the US dollar is digital now, and I believe that'll just be advanced. And I think a lot of people will want to use a CBDC, actually. I think they're going to market it well. They'll say, you don't have to pay, or you don't have to figure out your taxes because we're going to take it out, as you use it or whatever. We don't need to do any of that anymore. It'll be easy. You might get a new iPhone if you use the CBDC. You might have all these, discounts or things or reasons to use it. I could just see it happening. I think it will. But even if it does, they're not getting rid of decentralized digital assets like XRP and stable coins like RLUSD. Here is the one and only Crypto Ari. There's a lot of drama going on right now on X involving her and some others. I just try to stay out of it, but I've watched Crypto Ari for a long time, maybe since the beginning 10 years ago. She shared Brad Garlinghouse saying Ripple doesn't have a big dog in this fight. And I've talked to you guys before about how XRP doesn't really need the Clarity Act, which is very interesting and would make an interesting situation if the Clarity Act, last minute didn't go through. So here's Brad.
So as you described, the Genius Act passed last summer, which I think was a major step forward. And I think it was one of the unlocks and demand and excitement around stablecoins. And you're seeing CEOs and CFOs at Fortune 2000 companies saying, hey, are we using stablecoins? Could we be using stablecoins? And that's going to continue to happen. The Clarity Act, which is intended to be kind of the fast follow-on, not quite fast, to provide clarity about what is a security, what's a commodity, et cetera, has been slow. And in part is the banks have kind of reopened some parts of the Genius Act about how our yield or rewards happen, what's the difference between reward and yield. Look, Ripple doesn't have a big dog in this fight. And so we have kind of, on this particular point, let people who care more deeply about it fight that fight. I do think that having this White House support the Clarity Act and push it forward has been profound. The fact that the SEC in the United States and the CFTC 9 days ago came together and said, these 16 digital assets are commodities. You think about the contrast between that and the Biden war on crypto that drove it offshore in the United States. So I think we already have made huge progress in this administration to provide some of that structure and clarity. I think clarity will still pass. I was in Washington 2 days ago, and I think we'll still get something. I think the person that I trust and how the sausage is made on these things said, when people are their most exhausted, most annoyed, that's when they finally compromise.
That rings a bell with me. The digital asset guy's been a licensed real estate agent for over a decade. It has not been my main bag, but I've closed a deal or two or couple years I did a few deals, maybe like 4 or 5, and I got a lot of experience with with doing deals. I mean, not a ton, but enough to know what's going on. And I did find that when people are kind of frustrated, when people are not happy, that's usually when things happen where they say, okay, you know what, we'll just give them their closing costs or whatever, that one thing holding up the deal. Or they say, you know what, we're so tired of looking at these old houses that need a lot of work, we'll just go ahead and build, when I advised them to build from the beginning. So I think that may be what's happening with the Clarity Act now. But if Brad Garlinghouse has people on the inside that know how the sausage is made, and he listens to them, I'm going to listen to what Brad says. And you can see Brad at XRP Las Vegas, April 30th through May 1st. It was just sensational last year when he was there talking with us, being in the room. You could just feel the energy. Excuse me. Still got this annoying cough, you all know. So anyway, it was like up to 80 degrees today. Tomorrow it's going to go down to like, 45 or something, get cold again. Probably keep my cough going. It has everything to do with this heater. But anyway, if you want to see Brad Garlinghouse, that's where you can see him. He's not an easy man to get in the room with. So I suggest coming to XRP Vegas. He may not always be available for things like this. XRP Vegas may get too big. He may not be able to be there for certain reasons. So, and in case you hadn't heard, I officially approved the Paris Hotel and Casino. And it looks like this from my stay. It really is a hotel unlike any that I've stayed in. And the pool outside, here's me by it. Yes, I have a shirtless picture. The digital asset guy works out. And there you go. And this is the pool, a shot from the pool. When you look up at that Eiffel Tower, it really is kind of awesome. I don't know if it's in... Oh yeah, maybe it is in this video where I turn around. And I hear we're having a pool party. So, you don't want to miss that. And I want to eat in this restaurant. I might try to round up some XRP people to go eat in there. I want to eat there. I want to eat at the Circus Steakhouse. It's my other favorite. I'm sure there's a ton of others, but it's going to be a good time. Hope to see everybody there. And then here's just a funny thing that I wanted to leave with all of you. So my good friend James Rule, who I'm going to officially meet this year at XRP Vegas, he says, what the... Somebody, I guess, this John Denver parody account is apparently a big XRP person, and I guess they put him in this suit. And I replied, and I said, it's not as bad as mine, someone did. Somebody put me in this rainbow suit after my XRP Vegas talk about the Clarity Act markup. If you haven't watched it.
So I just received my refund for XRP Las Vegas 2026 due to the Clarity Act markup discount. And it was the strangest feeling ever because paying to go to XRP Las Vegas 2025 was some of the best money I've ever spent.
So anyway, there it is if you want to watch it. But yeah, somebody used AI and put me in a rainbow suit. So James, it's not that bad. Actually, it looks kind of good. If you rolled into XRP Vegas like that, I don't think anybody would say anything. They'd probably just say, bless your heart, like you're saying. And then I would say, I told you so. So, all right, I'm trying to keep these videos shorter because people say they need to be shorter. I talk too much. I know that. Thank you so much for watching. Please give me a comment below, give me a like, subscribe, and share this with anyone who you think it would provide value to. Digital Asset Guy out.